Hello, everybody. This webinar is going to show you how to input peer reviewer scores into the appropriate spreadsheet that's on Teams. Now, I have to stress this. This is not about speed. This is about attention to detail. This is about you double checking your work, maybe triple checking your work, because it's easy to input a score into another peer reviewer's column, or or let's say it's a score of 76, you might put 67 in there. So this is about, since you don't have double monitors, you're going to have a notebook, and you're going to have to, like okay, this is Leonard score, this is Penny scores, this is Rose score, so you have to do it that way. The scores need to be in no later than July 10th, which is next Friday. And I'm going to push everybody to get the scores in by then. But in reality, if they get the scores, you don't tell them this, if they get the scores at least 48 hours before their scheduled due date. For example, if they have a scheduled due date, a scheduled deliberation on a Monday, their scores either have to be in by July 10th or by the Friday before their scheduled deliberation date. If the deliberation date is, let's say, Monday, uh, uh, July 20th, then their scores need to be in no later than uh, um, Thursday, July 16th, right? So we need at least 48 hours to input the scores. But we're not going to tell them that, because we're going to push them, and I'm going to push them to get all their initial scores in by July 10th. But we do have some wiggle room, just to let you know. So how do you get access to the scores, right? So this is, to me, I think it's not a very complicated process. I taught one of the census ladies in a matter of like a day, and she was able to get all the stuff in and follow up with peer reviewers that were missing scores. So here's how you do it. So when you log into Sage, all this stuff should be there. Project Atlas 2021, social entrepreneurship, entrepreneur development 2021, social innovation 2021, and special projects 2021, right? They should all be there. So the first thing you want to do is, depending on who you're assigned, right? You need to, the first thing you want to do is, let's say you're assigned, you have a social innovation grant. So you want to go into Teams, and you want to open up the document, the Excel spreadsheet. Oh wait, let me share this. I gotta share this. Share document, social innovation. So you want to open up. I hope you can see this. You want to open up the um, the social innovation spreadsheet in Teams, and all the funding categories are tabbed on the bottom. You have college readiness panel 1, college readiness panel 2, STEAM panel 1, STEAM panel 2, youth entrepreneurship. And if you have a special project application, let me share that screen. Previous project atlas, special projects. So this is a special projects application. So if you have to open up this spreadsheet, and if you have civic engagement, tutoring and homework, tutorial services to seniors in summer camp, you would access this document in Teams, and it's titled Peer Review Panel Score Special Projects, or Peer Review Panel Score Social Innovation, or Peer Review Panel Scores Project Atlas, or um, Peer Review Panel Seed, right? And if you notice, all of the panelists are identified here, right? And they're identified, the way they're registered in Sage as a panel is not by their name, it's by this letter. So Julie Hanley under summer camp is A, Gina is B, Cameron, and C. So this first list is the initial score. This is the stuff that they're going to be debate. These are the scores that they're putting in by July 10th. When they do their deliberation, these will be the final scores. So these will be the scores that we will be making funding decisions with. But we need them to input the initial scores and the final scores. Now, this formula averages out the scores that they put in here. So let's for example, let me put in here 70, 80, and 60. So it averages out these three numbers, 70, 80, and 60, to the average score of 70, right? And so it's really critical that we put the right score in the right column, so that we can figure out who scored what, right? So and it's the same thing is for services to seniors. Every panel, you see the peer reviewers that are associated with this panel, and you see the letter that they're associated with in this panel, right? Same thing with tutoring and homework assistance, right? Same thing with civic and community engagement. Again, I can't stress this enough. I really can't stress this enough. It is not about speed. It is definitely about attention to detail. Attention to detail. So let me share the screen. So let's say you have you're managing, or you've been assigned to Project Atlas, and you want to start collecting the scores or seeing who submitted scores. And people are beginning to submit scores. So you can begin to go in and start plugging this information into the team spreadsheet. So let's open up Project Atlas, and let's open up Alessi. So everybody's at home review. So you would click the link. And the next thing you want to do is you want to hover over forms and scroll down to rating sheet. Now, if you just put the cursor or the hand over the rating sheet, you'll see the two people that have submitted scores. So it's Leonard Grayson and Rosalind Shaw. So you know there's one person missing, but they have until the 10th to submit it, right? So you want to click on the rating sheet, and you see over here, when more than one person submits scores, there'll be a drop down box, right? And so you want to go to Leonard, you do Leonard, and what you simply want to do is scroll all the way to the bottom and jot down this score, 56. And if you look at, what is this? 012. So if you look at the Project Atlas, Project Atlas sheet here, this is all in alphabetical order. So you see 012. So you won't put it under Penny, you won't put it under Rosalind, you'll put this score of 56 under Leonard. And so right under Leonard. And then you'll go back to this application. So this one application will have all three scores here. So you got Leonard's score, and then you click on Rosaline and you click go. And you simply scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you see that wow, she's a hard scorer. She gave them a 29.50, right? So you go, whew. So you go back to the panel, and so Leonard gave 012 a 56, and Rosaline's score gave them a 29.56, right? And then you just go to each application and do the same thing. Let's go back. Let's go to another one. So let's go to another. So you did these two scores. So now we're going to go to home, and you go to Project Atlas, or the organization that you're assigned to, or the funding category, and you click on 009, right? So 009 is this organization. Hover over forms, scroll down to rating sheet. You'll see that Leonard and Rosaline scored this application. We're waiting on Penny. You click on the rating sheet. So Leonard hasn't finished this. He hasn't finished this. He has until the 3rd. I mean, until the 10th, because he's missing some stuff. So when you start an application, it'll Sage will indicate that it's being worked on. So let's go to Rosaline. So we know that Leonard has to work on that one. We'll click on Rosaline. And we know that all her scores are in. This is not an opportunity for you to start reading the comments. What I need you to do is go to the scores. So she scored at a 51, right? So then all you simply need to do is go to the spreadsheet. What I suggest you do, since you don't have a double monitor, is write, Penny, Leonard, and Rosaline with the letter, replicating the, let me see, which one is it? Project Atlas. So you want to put Penny because she's A, Leonard because he's B, and Rosaline because she's C, in that order. And then you want to go to each application, and on a piece of paper, write down the scores for each application, 003, 006, and make sure that this number correlates to this organization, 006 correlates to Computers for People Incorporated. So that's how you input the scores, right? So let's try another one. Let's look at another. Let's look at another. Let's look at special projects. So let's go to special project OFBI 2021. Now, this is the challenge. Look at all these special projects organizations. They're not categorized by funding categories. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to, let me share this. You're gonna have to go to each one of these organizations each of these funding categories that you're assigned to, and identify these organizations that for civic and community engagement by these numbers. So what you may want to do is write these numbers down: 016, 034, 050, 051, 068, 074, 76, 93, 96, 99, 101, with the corresponding organization. And this is all about due diligence, what I'm telling you. Now, you can try to, do it your way, but again, we can't be wrong here. And then in another, in one column, you want to put Halima A, Gregory B, and Gage C. And then you'll go to each of these organizations. So you'll go to, let me just do one: 016, 034, 050, and then it's Halima. I'm actually doing this: Gregory and Gage. So I'm on a piece of paper. I wrote these three organizations down. I wrote the name of the organizations down on a separate piece of paper. I did 3 columns on the same piece of paper, put Halima A, Gregory B, and Gage C. Now I'm going to go back to the special project, going to go back to Sage, and I'm going to look for it. Now, here's a simple trick that you can do. If you want to, because if you want to put these in numerical order, what you want to do is go to group by. You want to group them by the name, so they'll put them in numerical order by the name. and you want to go to go. You click go, and then you open this back up, Special Projects 2021, and they're all in numerical order. So it'll be easy for you to, in numerically identify the organization. That's one way of doing it. The other way that you can do it is you can hold CTRL for control and press the letter F, and you'll see this search box here, right? And so you can just plug in 016 and it'll take you to the organization 016. So those are the two ways that you can get to the application that you want to get to. So you click on 016, you hover over forms, right? You know that it's Church World Service. You scroll down to rating sheet. You don't see any names, but you do see a pencil. Seeing a pencil there is an indication to you that someone went in and started the scoring process. One of the three, either Halima, Greg, or Gage, but you won't know who it is until you gain access to the rating sheet. So you click the rating sheet, and you'll see that this rating sheet has been done, and it's scored at a 69.50. Right, it's a 69.50. Now I'm actually writing this down on a piece of paper, right, on my column. But you don't know who it is. So how do you find out who it is? You click details, and it'll say to you, Gage Black Singer scored this sheet. So you already have a piece of paper with the numbers of the organizations, the name of the organizations. Column A is Halima, column B is Gregory, column C is Gage. And Gage scored 016, a 69.5, right? Because that's all you see. Because there is no drop down box over here. So you go to the next organization, click home. That's the way I do it. Click special projects. It's again out of order, but the next organization is 034. So you come up to the top and you type in 034, and it takes you right to 034. You click 034. You hover over forms. You scroll down to rating sheet. The pencil in the rating sheet says that somebody already scored it. You click rating sheet. You want to know who scored it? You click details, and Gage scored it. The next thing you do is scroll all the way down to the bottom. If there's no errors up here, right? There's errors up here, then you've got to let him know he's got to come back and fix this. Scroll all the way down to the bottom, and he scored at an 88.50. So you have to actually write 88.50, right? On the piece of paper that you created. And then you go back up to the top, go to the next organization, which is 050. Those are three random numbers that I picked. So you click special projects. Up here, you put 50. Oh. 050, my eternal family. You click on the link. You hover over forms. You scroll down to the rating sheet. You see the pencil there. There's only one person that's rated it, because if there was more than one, if you put the cursor over rating sheet, both the names will pop up, or all three names will pop up. You want to know who it is? I guarantee you it's Gage, right? There's Gage right there. You scroll all the way down to the bottom, and he scored at an 80, and then you write 80, right? And then you scroll up. So let's assume that the same exercise you do for all of them, right? You don't have to wait for all three to insert scores. As they're inserting their scores, you can begin to insert the scores into the spreadsheet, right? And then let them know, hey, Gage, thanks for submitting your scores for, forget the name of this special, for civic and community engagement. And then you would email, you would email the panel and say, "Hey, Gage, thanks for submitting all your scores for civic and community engagement. Halimi and Greg, don't forget you have until July 10th to get your initial scores in." Just to let them know that one of them is on the ball. All right. All right. So let's also then you would go to special projects. Which one is it? See, social innovation, special projects. So you would go to special projects, right? And you would go to Gage, and you would input, or for 016, he scored it a 69.50, 69.50, which is a 69.5. For 034, he scored it, oops, he scored it at 88.5, 88.5, right? And for 050, he scored it at 80. Right, so as you go down, you plug in all the Gage's scores, and don't worry about these extra stuff because it's not averaging it down, it's just averaging it across. And so now, after you put his stuff in, then you got to go, hey, send them the emails. Let's do another one. Let's do summer camp. So let's do 004, 031, and 105. And then it's Julie is A, Gina is B, and Carmen is C for the initial scores. Right? And after their deliberation, you go back in and you put in their final scores, and I'll show you how to do that. It's real simple, right? So now you go to the Sage system. Go to Sage. You click home, right? And you click special projects, and you look for 004, and you put 004 up here. Remember, it's Control F, and then then the search box pops up. I don't know if you can see it. I hope you can see it. Then it will get you right to 004, and then you hover over forms, and here we go. Somebody either finished it or started it. So you click on the rating sheet, and because it's only one person, they won't show any names here. What you want to do is click detail box, and you know that it's Carmen. There's no errors here, so you know that she completed this application at least. So you scroll all the way down to the bottom, and she scored it at 83. So Carmen is C. So she scored 004 on 83, right? Then you go back to home, or you can go back, you can, click this back button. Or go to home. I just go straight to home. You go to special projects, and up here you put 31, and it'll give you 031. You click on 031, and you know it's for summer camp. It's Mercer Street Friends. You hover over forms, you scroll down. You know that somebody either started it or finished it. You click rating sheet. There's no errors here, so the rating sheet is completed. You're looking at the text boxes. You're not reading it, but you want to make sure that there's texts in the boxes. There's some stuff in there. You want to know who scored it, and it's Carmen again. You scroll down to the bottom. She scored it at 85.5. 85.5, right? You scroll back up to the top. Hit home. This is the exercise. This is what you do. Sage is acting up a little bit. You click home. You go back to Special Projects 2021. You go up to the top here, and you want to put 105. Click enter. 105 pops up. Click the grant number. You hover, you know it's summer camp. You got to make sure that that says summer camp because that's what you're grading. You scroll down to rating sheets against someone scored it or started it. You click rating sheet. You want to know who did it? It's Carmen. Carmen probably knocked all these out already. There aren't any error signs, so you know that the rating sheet has been completed. You scroll to the bottom, and she scored it a 70.5. 70.5. All right. So let's say you did all of them, and Carmen scored all her scores. Did all her scores. Then you go to the spreadsheet and teams. You go to the spreadsheet and teams, and you'll say, okay, Carmen scored 004 and 83. She scored 031 an 85.5, and she scored 105 a 70.5. And after you finish doing all these, then you'll email the panel, and remember, in the subject line, put the category that they're reviewing, summer camp, and then say, Carmen, thanks for submitting your scores. Julie and Gina, please make sure that your scores are submitted no later than July 10th. Because, by the way, they're going to, no, July 9th. Why, Shauna? Because they're going to be reviewing Saturday the 11th. So we've got to get the scores in and input it in here before they actually deliberate. So they even though the due date is the 10th, they got to get it in. You know, they can get it in, but they got to get it in by the 10th before close of business, because you got to be able to put the scores in. All right. So that same step goes for all of the categories under special projects. So Louisa, you're responsible for civic, I think, tutoring, services to seniors in summer camp. Justin, no. And Shauna, you're responsible for summer camp. Uh, Justin, you're responsible for special projects. And Justin, you're also responsible for college readiness panel 1, college readiness panel 2. One of these two streams, I think Louisa, you're STEAM 1 and Justin is STEAM 2. And I think Louisa, you have youth entrepreneurship. I'm not sure, but you guys know who you're doing. All right. So you can start going in there today, meaning, as soon as you what on your scheduled days to work, and begin to input these numbers. And those that have not inputted numbers, you need to email the entire panel and say, hey, Trevor, thanks for putting in your scores, and Soon Yang, thanks for putting in your score. And I need you to input your scores. All right. So that's about it. If you have any questions, give me a call or text me. Thanks.